Hey everybody, what's up? Welcome back to the channel, and here we are with the finished Ecto-1B. Now, of course, you guys notice that the license plate and some of the missing stuff don't represent the 1B. I don't have any way to get that stuff, so just like the rest of my cars, it's implied with the building. But I think this is a neat addition to the collection. It's not vastly different from a couple of the others, but different enough to make it its own thing, so definitely worth my while to build it and add it to the collection. Couple key features which are mostly on the rack. Like we've talked about, we have the Super Slammer up here. There's a smaller satellite dish in the back. This red strobe right here, the lunar white light here, and then the little megaphone right there. Just a few little changes like that. Definitely make it its own thing. Like I said, as I was building it and showed, added a lot of basically a combination between the Ecto-1 and the Ecto-1A to get the 1B. Something I didn't like on the 1A or the 1B is the hazard stripe does not go all the way across and up to their logo, and the logo placement's a little off on the door too, or it just seems like it's off to me. So I didn't really like how they didn't continue that. I don't know why they didn't do that, because they did do it down the whole car. My car, I kept it the same as what you see like on the 1A there, or that's my 1A Fantasy. My regular 1A is sitting up there, but as you guys can see with that one, the only bit of the stripe that I didn't do was the little kick up on the end, which actually should be further down, and I've tried to get it further down, but just the way this whole panel is built and with the pipes, it's kind of hard to work that in there. So but overall, I'm really happy with it. We have our red strobe light there. We have the lunar white, or the clear little light right there. We have the megaphone, the Super Slammer, and then a smaller satellite dish in the back. You guys got to see a lot of that when I had the rack off. And then, of course, we have the large tank that's been recolored on the other side with the red and yellow. Another version of that tank that is specifically for the 1B. So just something else that really adds to the overall look of the car. You guys can see there, we kind of have those red stripes. Mine are a little bit beefier, just because I decided to use a whole piece there. I think that looks pretty cool. Still have the ladder. When we open up the door here, you guys, I do have the little the foot pedal and the ghost trap made that can just sit inside there and be set up. You guys can kind of see some of that different those various boxes, those white, all that stuff in here. That's all for the 1B. You guys can also see some of that detail on the inside on the game rendering there. So I tried to update some of that stuff. Kept the computer exactly the same how it is in the 1A. And then, like I showed in earlier videos, kind of decided to go with a few 1A implements in the back just to add some detail. You guys can see you can open up the door all the way. You guys can see my gurney in there with the packs on it. That's my redesigned gurney and my redesigned packs. All the cars have that, except for the Afterlife and Frozen Empire. Those are the only two cars that don't have the gurneys. because they did not have them in the movie. But the 1B is definitely still a gurney carrying car, still has the packs in it as shown in the video game. So we made sure to implement that. We have, like I talked about before, and I'll show here, the 1B does not have that red utility bumper like what's on the on the 1A. It has just the back to the normal old school bumper. The game does not represent the bumper step that's supposed to be there, so I do have that on mine, that step right beneath the license plate. Other than that, back view, you don't really see too much different. You see a little bit of the upgraded technology in here, and then just a view of some of the equipment up top in the back. And then mine's a little different, like I said, just with my space and everything, I had to really compact everything. And the game itself, the satellite dish that's up here is definitely smaller than the one that's on the 1A. The 1A has a very large satellite dish, and there's no way you can fit that dish in this area and not hit anything. And you can tell it's downsized from the 1A version, so we went with that. Went with a smaller dish. We have our little radar dish here on a white box now. Other than that, not really too much different that you're going to see on the back side. The door still opens the same. Gurney. I can turn this a little bit better. Gurney with my folding down wheels comes out. So that way we keep all that cool stuff. And then it just rolls out with the packs on it. In this rendering, it does not show the packs on the gurney, but you can see the gurney packed up in there. And then I'll open up some of these side doors just to get a little bit more light in there. I'll try to zoom in. Hopefully my camera will focus on some of that. Maybe, maybe not. Probably not. This camera doesn't like to focus too well. See if I can get it in there, maybe? There we go. A little bit better. Not quite. I don't know. My camera does not like to really focus in that well. I wish it would. There you go. You guys can kind of see that white box in the middle of the screen there. That's kind of that other computer component that they have. Like I said before, I decided to keep the instrument panel in there from the 1A build, and then some of the details on the other wall there. But most of that stuff you can see from this side here. All those different boxes with the vents on them and various things. And then of course, like I mentioned before, above the jump seat we kind of have that thicker control panel up there with a few little add-ons on top that you can really see on the screen right there. Just used some printed plates for that that I've had in stock. But yeah, it's a pretty simple project overall, just some recoloring. The hardest part was just figuring out how to build and fit the Super Slammer and get enough detail on there where it looked unique and not just a big canister sitting up there. I wanted to include as much detail as I could to kind of bring all that together, and I feel like it looks pretty cool. Like I said in my last video, probably some things I could change over time, but for right now I'm pretty happy with it. Happy to have the card done. I think it looks really good. It's definitely a nice addition to the collection. On the other side here, where we have the back of the computer, I redesigned my computer from how the instructions on Rubricable had it, just to kind of make it look a little bit cleaner, everything fit a little bit nicer. Retain some door detail on here and still be able to shut the door, because that is all very tight spaced once the door shuts. But yeah, happy to have this one done. I think it is definitely cool. I'm glad enough people brought that to my attention to build, because like I said, this version was definitely not on my to-do list to begin with, and then just over time had enough people wanting me to build it, so I said, well, you know what, it's really not that hard, so I think we can do it. So it's a like I said, nice addition, and this is the 6th Ecto-1 now, and this is the final Ecto-1. I have toyed with building the pre-Ecto version, but just what I would have to find and order in black parts would be expensive, and some of that stuff would kind of be hard to find in black. So definitely it would be a lot more of a challenging thing, a lot more expensive, and honestly it would just get me this card but not look as cool. You know, nothing against the pre-Ecto version of the Ecto, but it's not the Ecto. It's just a it's an ambulance. It's a hearse at that point. This I would prefer to have the actual brightly colored, beautiful looking Ecto-1, Ecto-1A, Ecto-1B, you know, whichever. I like having this car as a visual in my collection. And like I said, I might clear off the table and get all 6 set up on here. It's going to take up quite a bit of room. I think you guys saw when I had 4, the actual 4 movie versions, but now I have, since then I had built my Ecto-1A Fantasy, and now the Ecto-1B. So I have 6 of these bad boys, and they all look super cool. I don't think I have enough pieces to do stands for these other 2, which is kind of unfortunate. I might have to buy some parts, and so that way I can make those stands that I have them sitting on, because they are nice to hold the car in place and not roll off the shelf. But yeah, that's it for this this series. I have some stuff coming up that I want to build. Some of it is just going to be normal set building for myself. I don't really have anything super exciting modification wise coming up. So this might be it for a little bit. If you guys want to see me build, like I have the Oriental Express, I have the Lighthouse, the SLS rocket. I also have the solar system Technic set. So if you guys want to see that stuff, I can do videos, but I don't really plan on modifying that stuff, just building it and enjoying it, so not really too much excitement going on there. Those sets have been out for a while. There's been plenty of other LEGO YouTubers that have done reviews on them, so I'm not really going to do any reviews because I'm way behind time on that, but definitely had fun. It's been at least a couple years with all these Ecto projects, maybe 3 years, just from when I started the first one, which was the original Ecto. That kind of went through some changes, and then we did the 1A, and I was happy at that. And then you know, I had to do the Frozen Empire, and oh man, brain fart on the the name of that movie. Sorry. But you know, just having all of the movie versions was cool, but I wanted to take that to another level with my fantasy Ecto-1A. I really wanted a fantasy Ecto-1A with a little bit more changes into it. You guys got to see that one, and now the 1B. So super excited to have all of these in the collection. They each definitely have their own personality, which I like. Even though it's the same car, there is enough difference between them all to make it a thing that I wanted to do. So thanks to everyone for suggesting me build the Ecto-1B. That was definitely one that I didn't plan on doing, but I'm glad I did. So yeah, that's it for this video, guys. Thanks everybody for the support, and until next time, take care.